Assalamualaikum and good morning to all my students. So today you will be learn chapter 3 visualizing data for part 3. So part 3 3.4 box plot. So what is a box plot? So a box and whisker plot, a graphical method of displaying variation in a set of data. So a box and whisker plot can provide additional details while allowing multiple set of data to be displayed in the same graph. So very effective and easy to read as they can summarize data from multiple sources and display the result in a single graph. So comparison of data from different categories for easier, more effective in decision making. Okay, so this is the box plot. So we have two types of box plot here. Okay, the first one is a vertical box plot. Okay, and the second one is a horizontal box plot. Okay, so before we draw the box plot, we must have the 5 number summary. Okay, so what is the 5 number summaries here? The first one, you need to find the lowest value of data. So this is the first one. Okay, and then you also need to find the highest values of data. Okay, and also you need to calculate Q1, Q2 and Q3. Okay, Q1, Q2, the median is a Q2 and Q3. So this is the 5 number summaries you must have before we draw a box plot. Okay, so look at the box plot here. Okay, the point here, okay, the first point here is the smallest data. The last point here is the largest data. Okay, the highest data. Okay, so then from this box, okay, look at this box. Okay, the first line here, this is the value for Q1. The second line, this is Q2, and the third line is a Q3. And then draw the box. So the box is between Q1 until Q3 only. Okay, and then to connect the box, okay, to the largest data and smallest data, we have the line here. Okay, so what is the star? Can you see the star here? So if you have the outliers, then put a star. Okay, so outliers can be 1, can be more than 1, or can be not exist. Okay, so how to draw a box plot? So this is the procedures for constructing a box plot. Okay, first thing, you must arrange the data in ascending order. Okay, because later you need to find Q1, Q2 and Q3. As we know that before we find the quartile, we need to arrange the data in order. Okay, so after you find Q1, Q2 and Q3, okay, so we identify the outliers. The third procedure is we need to identify the outliers. So how to identify the outliers? Okay, first we need to calculate IQR by using this formula. So IQR equal to Q3 minus Q1, the third quartile minus the first quartile. Okay, so note that the larger value of IQR, the larger of variability. Okay, then we find this, the first one, Q3 plus 1 plus 1.5 IQR. Okay, another one is Q1 minus 1.5 IQR. So we need to calculate these two. Okay, then compare with your data. X is a data. Okay, is there any data greater than this one, or is there any data lower than the upper limit? If there is, okay, data that greater than lower limit or upper than lower limit, then that is a outliers. For example, okay, your Q3 plus 1.5 IQR equal to 7, for example. Another one, Q1 minus 1.5 IQR equal to 2. So you have this data, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, okay, for example. So we have this data, and this data is already arranged in order. Okay, so check. Is there any data greater than 7? Is there any data greater than 7? No. Okay, and then we need to check another one. Is there any data less than 2? Yes, which is 1, right? So 1 less than 2. So our outliers here is 1, number 1. Okay, so this is how to find the outliers in our data set. Okay, then you need to draw a scale. Okay, before we draw the box plot, we must have a scale. Okay, and then put the minimum value, the maximum value, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, so draw a box around Q1 and Q3. So as I mentioned before, so the box here is only Q1 until Q3. So in between Q1 and Q3 is Q2. So we have a smallest value here, largest value. So this is largest, this is smallest. So we connect with the line. So if we have outliers, put the star. Okay. So this is the definition of outliers. So outliers is an extremely high or extremely low data value when compared with the rest of the data values. So you can see in the graph here, so we have outliers. So we look at example 3.9. Okay, so the numbers of credits in business courses 8 job applicants had is shown here. Okay, so the data is already arranged in order. Okay, so find the first entered quartile. So we need to find Q1 and Q3. Okay, so find the Q1 first. So Q1 is X1 times 8. So why 8? Because we have 8 data. Okay, so N equal to 8 here. So 1 times 8 divided by 4. Okay, we get 2 because this is a whole number. We need to use this formula. So X2 plus X3 divided by 2. So data 2, the second data. So this is actually 12 plus 15 divided by 2. Then we get 13.5. For Q3, okay, because we get the whole number here. So X6 plus X7 divided by 2. So here actually 45 plus 63 divided by 2. Then we get 54. So after we find the Q1 and Q3, so we want to find the outlier, we need to calculate IQR, right? So what is the IQR? Q3 minus Q1 here. So this is IQR. Okay, so IQR Q3 minus Q1, 45 minus 13.5. Okay, so we need to find the lower limit and also the upper limit. Okay, so lower limit is negative 47.25 and upper limit is 114.75. So we check, is there any data less than negative 47? So no, right, because the smallest data is 9. So we don't have any data less than negative 47. And then, is there any data greater than 114? So no, because the highest data here is 72. So, because no data less than negative 47.25 and no data is greater than 114.75, so there is no outliers. Okay. So we have exercise 3.2 here for outliers. So number 1 and number 2. So I want you to do number 1 and number 2. So later we will discuss in our online class. Okay, then we look at example 3.10. So box plot here. Okay, so we have this data. So by looking at this data, actually the data is not arranged in order yet. Okay, so we need to arrange the data in order. Okay, so look at the solution here. Okay, so construct a box plot for data above that give a comment about the shape of distribution. So actually from the box plot, we also can know the shape of distribution. So same to the stem and leaf plot. Okay, so look at the solution here. Okay, so first we need to arrange the data. Okay, so we arrange the data in order. Then we need to find the smallest data. Okay, so 5 number summary, right? 5 number summaries. We need to find minimum value, Q1, Q2, Q3, and the last one is a maximum value. So this is our minimum value. This is our maximum value. Okay, find Q1. So Q1 here, we get 1 to 2. Q2, we get 1 to 4. And Q3, we get 1 to 8. Okay, so we have the 5 number summaries. Then we can draw the box plot. Okay, before we draw a box plot, we need to detect, is there any outliers? Okay, so how to find the outliers? By using the formula. Okay, Q1 minus 1.5 IQR. Another one is Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. Okay, so is there any data less than 113? Or is there any data greater than 137? So we look at this one. Is there any data less than 113? So yes. So which one? This one. Right. 108. 108 is less than 113. Okay. Another one. Is there any data greater than 137? Okay. Look at this one. Yes, we have one more outliers here, which is 147. Because 147 is greater than 133. Right? So we have 2 outliers here. 108. So our outliers 108 and 147. Okay? So that's why. So look at this box plot. So we have 2 outliers. Okay. So draw in the scale. So we have scale here. Okay. So our outliers is 107 here. This is 107. This is 147. Okay. So this is the minimum. This is the maximum. Okay. Okay, class. I remember that if the minimum number has been taken by the outliers, so your minimum is the next one. Okay, so because of the first thing you look at this one. 108 it should be the minimum, right? Okay, 108 should be a minimum, but has been taken by the outliers here. Okay, so 115 become the minimum because this one is become outliers. This one also become outliers. So the maximum is 131. Okay, so this is 115, 131. Sorry, this is 108. Okay, so this is Q1, Q2 and Q3. So this is how you draw the box plot. Okay, is it clear? So we also has a example 3.11 here. Okay, parallel box plot. So what is a parallel box plot? So look at this one. So parallel box plot means that, so in a one axis we have two box plot. Okay, two groups. It's a look like a back-to-back stem and leaf plot, right? So we have only stem, one stem, but two leaf. So for parallel box plot, we have one axis, only one axis, but two box plot. Okay, so two groups here, town area and rural area. Okay, so this is how the parallel box plots look like. Okay, in the same axis here. Okay, but we have two box plot. Okay, we can draw two box plot. Okay, so this is shape of distribution for the box plot. Okay, so we have three shapes of distribution. Okay, you must look the box here. By looking at the box here. Okay, so the median is near the center of the box. So that is a symmetrical. But if the median falls to the left, so this is median, so this is median. So fall to the left. Okay, so that is a right skewed. So if median falls to the right, that is a left skewed. So we look at the location of median. Okay, so we have symmetrical, right skewed and left skewed. So suppose the median is near the center of the box, so that one is approximately symmetric. Okay, so the lines are about the same length. Okay, so when you look at the line here, okay, same length, that is symmetric. So if a right line is larger than left line, okay, right larger than left, that is a right skewed. If the left line larger than right, that is a left skewed. So that is another one. Okay, another method how to find the shape of distribution. So beside you look at the box, okay, the location of median in that box, you can also look at the line. Okay, so compare the line. Okay, so if you have two box plot in one axis, so you can compare the box plot. Okay, you can compare the average and also the variability. So how to compare the average? So to compare the average, use the location of the medians. Okay, by looking at the medians, the location of the median. But to compare the variability, you must use the length of the IQR. So what is the length of IQR? So you have this box plot, for example. Okay, so this is Q1, Q2 and Q3. Length of IQR is this one, the length of the box. Okay, the size of the box. Okay, that is IQR, the length of IQR. Location of median is a Q2. Okay, we know that median is a Q2. Okay, look at these two box plot. Okay, so we have evening and day. Okay, with the same axis, but we have two box plot. Okay, so to compare the shape first. Okay, look at the shape. For evening, okay, that is the left skewed. Why? Because of the left line is larger than the right line. Okay, so that is the left skewed. But for the day, okay, that is the left skewed because of we can see that the left line slightly larger than the right, but obviously the location of median here, okay, location of median is to the right, so Q2 is to the right, so that is a left skewed. Okay, so as I mentioned before, okay, so you can know the shape of distribution by looking at the Q2, the location of median, or you look at the line. Okay, compare the line. So for the variability, so we want to compare the variability, so we need to compare the IQR, right? So how to find the IQR? So IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So for evening, IQR equal to 18. For the day, IQR equal to 27.25. So since IQR evening is less than IQR day, okay, so performance test score during evening is better than during the day. Okay, so if your IQR is less than the other group, so means that that group is better. Okay. Okay, now for Boxplot, so we have exercise 3.3. Okay, number 1 and number 2. So do all the exercises here. So before we have a class on Wednesday. Okay, so the last part is a 3.6 graph summary using Microsoft Excel. So in Excel, when you look at your Excel, you can see a lot of graph you can choose. Okay, you go to the insert here, okay, and then you can see the types of graph here. Okay, types of graph. So we have a bar chart, line, pie chart, okay, histogram, scatter plot, and so on. So many graph on the Microsoft Excel. So we can choose which one you want to show, you want to present your data. Okay, so which graph. Okay, so everything in the Excel. Okay, so that's all for part 3 in chapter 3. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. See you on next chapter, which is chapter 4.